I haven't come across this poem in over 40 years. And it's an original twisted tale. Yes, sir. It was written by a man named Sir William Gilbert Schwank back in 1866. Now, William was an author, and he published many works, but he couldn't get this published. People thought that it would be too cannibalistic for his readers. So, William took his nickname, which was Bab, and he wrote for about 6 years a column which was published monthly of twisted poetry tales. This was one of them that was published. It's called The Yarn of the Nancy Belle.
'Twas on the shores that round our coast, from Deal to Ramsgate span, that I found alone on a piece of stone an elderly naval man. His hair was weedy, his beard was long, and weedy and long was he. And I heard this wight on the shores recite in a singular minor key. "Oh, I am a cook and a captain bold, and the mate of the Nancy brig, and a boatswain tight, and a midshipmate, and the crew of the captain's gig." And he shook his fist and he tore his hair, till I really felt afraid, for I couldn't help thinking the man had been drinking. And so I simply said, "O elderly man, it's little I know of the duties of the men of the sea, and I'll eat my hand if I can understand however you can be at once a cook and a captain bold and the mate of the Nancy brig, and a boatswain tight and a midshipmate, and the crew of the captain's gig." Well, then he gave a hitch to his trousers, which is a trick all seamen larn. Then, having got rid of a thumping quid, he spun his painful yarn. "'Twas on the good ship Nancy Belle that we sailed to the Indian Sea, and there on a reef we came to grief, which has often occurred to me. And pretty nigh all the crew was drowned. There were 77 a soul, and only 10 of the Nancy's men said, 'Here,' at the muster roll. There was me, and the cook, and the captain bold, and the mate of the Nancy brig, and the boatswain tight, and the midshipmate, and the crew of the captain's gig. For a month we'd neither whittle nor drink, till a hunger we did feel. So we drawed a lot, and accordingly shot the captain for our meal. The next lot fell on the Nancy's maiden, a delicate dish he made, then her appetite with the midshipmate, and we 7 survivors stayed. And then we murdered the boatswain tight, and he much resembled pig. Then we whittled free, did the cook and me, on the crew of the captain's gig. Then only the cook and me were left, and the delicate question, which of us goes to the kettle, arose, and we argued it out as sich. For I loved that cook like a brother, I did, and the cook, he worshipped me. But we'd both be blowed if we'd either be stowed in the other chap's hold, you see. "I'll be eat if you dines off me," says Tom. "Yes, that," I says, "you'll be." "I'm boiled if I die, my friend," quoth I. "And exactly so," quoth he. Says he, "Dear James, to murder me would be a foolish thing to do. For don't you see that you can't cook me while I can, and will, cook you?" So he boiled the water and takes the salt and the pepper in portions true, which he never forgot. Well, and he added some chopped shallot and some sage and parsley, too. "Come here," says he, with proper pride, which his smiling features tell. "'Tit will soothing be to let you see how extremely nice you'll smell." And he stirred it round and round and round, and he sniffed the foaming broth, when I up with his heels, and I smothered his squeals in the scum of the foaming broth. And I eat that cook in a week or less, and as I eating be, the last of his chops, why, I almost drops, for a vessel inside I see. And I never laugh, and I never smile, and I never lark nor play. but I sit and croak, and a single joke I have, which I do say. Oh, I am the cook and the captain bold, and the mate of the Nancy's brig, and a boatswain tight, and a midshipmate, and the crew of the captain's gig.